what is happening here is that it is Eid day today. So Eid greetings to everyone who's celebrating. I hope you had a fantastic Eid and you had plenty of lovely food. Having said that, the next week is going to start with a fresh month, August. People say it is a thin month volume wise, but that's all hogwash. Don't believe in that stuff, because the market can throw really different things at you. You can never predict it properly. What we do know is, as long as it's setting up, we're going to trade it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look at the charts and see which markets are hot and which markets we can trade for the next week. What are the things that we need to look at? What are the important levels that we need to look at? And we're going to look at multiple time frames, daily, the 4-hour and the hourly charts, to see which markets really are moving, whatever they've done in the last week, and based on that, what can we do and how can we benefit from these setups in the week ahead. So let's dive in. Okay, so welcome to the trading room. We are going to look at the charts from daily, 4-hourly and 1-hour perspective. We're going to see what have they done in the week before, what have they done in the month, and based on that, what are the charts, what are the markets that we are going to trade in this next week. So let's do some quick 10-second Elliott wave analysis. Let's see where the gator is, let's see where the waves are, and let's see where the overall market is. So we'll begin with Australian dollar, the Aussie pair. Right, so what I see on the daily chart obviously is that it has completed some sort of a very strong move up. Now the Friday candle is probably the biggest red candle that it has created in, it hasn't, probably the first time in this entire month of July, and there were only a couple bigger candles than that in the last 2 to 3 months. So this pair is still on the way up. Is it the Australian dollar gaining value as a whole, or is it basically dollar going down? So I can tell you that that the dollar is losing value, and you can see that when you look at the gold chart. So gold and Australian dollar are correlated. So when the gold prices go up, Australian dollar also goes up. There is something going on, because one of the biggest industry and the trade deal between Australia and China is gold, and all that, it kind of mingles. But in general, when the gold goes up, what do? You sell dollars, like you pay dollars. The value of the dollar is going down. People are putting their money more into gold to protect their assets. So that's what's going on. If this candle, there is still about an hour left for the market to close. This is my Sunday analysis, but I'm doing it on Friday. It has created a bearish candle, which would mean that we could see some correction in this during the week. But what is done is that it hasn't moved below the low of the previous day. So if you look at this candle, it's still within this range. So it's just a bearish candle. It hasn't changed anything. Now, if this candle was kind of big, like so, if it was like this, it wouldn't be that fat because it would be only this much. So if it was like so and it came all the way down, kind of like 120, 130, a higher range and a higher volatility compared to the markets, what it's done before, then that would indicate a very strong change. At the moment, it's just a normal bearish candle. So we'll assume this as in an uptrend, and we will pursue it. We'll look at it that way, so it can go further up. Same is for the Australian dollar yen. So it has pulled back to previous levels. If you look at it, the market has created this level, these levels here, and prices actually come back and bounced against it. You can see the bounce against the green and the hump of the alligator here. So I also see an interesting thing, which is this candle. So this is a candle that clearly shows that selling was rejected below this level and more buy orders were introduced at this level. And then today the market has gone up. Now it's not really a strong bullish candle, but we can still see on the hourly chart here that it did break this level, which in my previous video, if you look at it, the video that I released on Friday about what happened during the week, this appeared as if it would be a very nice setup down. But then I take you to the 4-hour chart, and please do watch that video. I talk about this pair that I wasn't keen on going short on it because the 4-hour chart, which is this one, had the purple mingled with the gator, and although there was a strong, bearish price movement here, it wasn't really good, and it was for two reasons. The 4-hour chart wasn't really ready. We want the chart to be like, open in the directions. If I'm going short, I want the alligator to be open to the downside as well, but it wasn't, and that is because of the daily chart, because it's actually pulled back and then consolidating sideways. So there are chances that it might go up in the coming week. So we'll see. It's already made a statement here. So let's see on Monday if it opens over here. In the Asian session, you could probably go long along above these levels and see what happens. You could probably take it on 915 or the hourly chart. So the Euro USD is next one. What can I say? Euro USD, we had a signal here. This is a perfect, not a perfect, but it's a pretty good setup one signal for this time frame. It happens so slow, it takes weeks and months. You can actually just look at them and wait. All you had to do was take a trade there at this level and stop loss here, which we did. And then you could add on based on this level here. And you can also add on once it created this pullback, those two candles, and box high was created, you could have done your final third add-on here. We do have a very strong bearish candle here, and there is this angulation between gator and price, so there is a chance that it might correct back. If it does that correction, we have around 100 pips at least for it to do towards the green line. So on the hourly chart, what I would like to see is that the market goes sideways like so, and then during the London session or US session, we'll see if it continues sideways, and we'll take it short here. Could be an M15 famous setup as well, but we'll see. At the same time, I would say, look, this move up is 170 points, but the move down, although it's impulsive, it didn't really clear these levels. So it is a reversal candle, but it's not the one that actually engulfed the candles to the left. So for example, if this candle came all the way here, like so, not like so, but like so, and it closed somewhere below here, then that would be a very strong indication that market is turning. But at the same time, there is still an indication that it has had enough, and it could probably either turn around. We'll see what it does during the week. So if it keeps printing more red candles after this, then on the hourly and the 15-minute chart in the week ahead in August, we'll probably get sell signals in there. Likewise, the euro yen, a very strong and beautiful move similar to the euro dollar, started here, add on here, and no reason to get out, although I did get out because I was long from here and we had targeted this. I could have stayed, but that was the target. It did really well. That's pretty good. I wasn't really expecting the euros to actually move like this, but I think the statements given by the ECB, the European Commission, and them were taken really positively by the market. And even though they're printing money, euro is still going up. People are investing in euros. This is the seed signal, a hunt seed signal. This is a very, very good system because this signal, thanks to Steve, has the hunt 4 rules coded inside it. So it looks for a peak of AO, and then it looks for the dark bars, then it looks for all the other parameters that we have coded in them, rule number 3, rule number 4, and then you're left with only applying the 2 rules, which are to filter the valid trades. So in most cases, your hunt signal is valid already because it's already checked those rules. Your job is then to actually filter some valid signals based on the trend analysis. In this occasion, a pretty good seed signal here. You would go long from here, and it hasn't hit 2R, but your position is at break even. The hunt seed signals are fantastic because they are fractal geometrically correct. So whenever you see a seed signal like this one on a certain lower time frame, you'll see a setup 1 signal like this. So push, pull, push again. So from that point of view, if you go to the 4-hour chart, as you can see, we have a wave 3. So if you don't know what setup 1 is, setup 1 is basically our main trading method, where we look for a peak of AO like this, which we call the wave 3, and then we want the AO to cross the 0 line like so, and the gator to sleep, purple correct. That's the setup 1, and then we take the breakout into the next wave, which we call the wave 5. And this is such a great setup that by the time when it sets up and you take an entry, you will know exactly where you would get out if it didn't work, and you will know exactly where you will get out if it works in your favor. So both of the decisions are pre-made. They are ready for it. So once you do it, once you take or set the pending order, you've already set your stop loss if it goes against you, and you already have your target point or your take profit level, which is based on the target zone 1 concept. More on this inside. So next is euro pound. We took the euro pound short here. This is the hourly chart, and Jasmine took it and Sergio took it. Well done to them. They took, I think he took 3R or 4Rs here, and some took 2R. I took this trade. I took this trade here from here, targeted those levels, and today I went there again and targeted it. Again, I think I can. So that's the mark. I took the trade here with 15 stop loss. Initially it was 30, but then it will move to 15, and based on that I set a 30 target point. It hit it pretty nicely. Could have done even 50 on this, which would be more than 2R, but in 2 days it's given us 4 Rs. What more can we ask for? So pretty good. Let's look at the daily chart for this. So the daily chart was actually kind of going up, but not anymore. It's come down, and now it's kind of breaking below the box, but it hasn't closed below the box. So we'll see what it does. If we look at the quick Elliott wave analysis, what we see is 3, 4, and a 5, and the 5 has most probably hit. It's inside the target zone, so this wave down is kind of terminated now. We'll see what it does during the week. So if the euros started to descend and the euros go down like this, and pound continues to go up, this EG will continue to go down. So let's go and look at cable, the pound dollar. So on the daily, again, you see a beautiful cherry signal. So in the hunt methodology, we have the hunt seed, and then we have the hunt cherry signal. So both of them are, both of these signals are the hunt methodology, the seed and the cherry, high probability setups. They are highly filtered. Basically, after trading the setup 1 for like 5 years, we plotted the charts. We plotted all our trades which we considered were the best setup ones, and then we went 5 times higher time frame, and we found out a certain candle pattern. Thanks to Grant Hardiman, who actually did that and shared it with us, it became a new strategy, the hunt methodology. So this setup, whenever you see the hunt signal, the hunt methodology has 2 signals, the seed and the cherry. Whenever it happens, there will be 80% chance that on a lower time frame it's going to be a setup 1. So because we like the setup 1 is quite a lot like the bull flag pattern that people trade, stock traders and stuff, and technical analysis and all those patterns. One of them is bull flag. This setup one pattern is very similar to that, but it's much more accurate because you get those pattern created by these indicators. A lot more easier. Looking at a naked chart, one can do it, but only after you've traded for for a few years. Looking at charts, then you realize this. But with this, even a beginner can actually just apply these indicators. And if you read the book, the setup book, you will know what is a setup one, or if you watch some of the videos here. So that pattern. So one is on the current time frame, and the hunt is basically the setup one of the lower time frame without going to a lower time frame. So basically, you triple your entries on the current time frame. Anyway, so let's go to further analysis. So the pound dollar, obviously it was going down during June, and then up to this day, up to the 20th of July, it was pretty calm on the daily. And then obviously before the move happened, we had this lovely signal cherry. If you took it, you only had to risk 115 pips, and you're still in this trade with 500 or 520 pips profit. That's if you could also have added on based on box breakout here and here. So that's a thing. So last week, the week ended with let's call it a pin bar. It has a pretty good tail up. So this is a fruit candle, a bearish divergent candle. It is suggesting some reversal. Now the market has been, I think, 9 green candles. So chances are that it might come down and retest those levels. These levels here, or the green line. The other level that we see is this level. So you can see that the market has hit previous levels, which is all these levels. So if it is going to go up further come this Monday, then we have to contend with those levels. And if the sellers are in charge, then it would continue to go down. So let's explore the possibilities on that. So we see a very strong move up, and as you can see here, another cherry signal on the hourly right at the London Open. If you took this, it's a nice 2R, 30 stop loss, 60 target point, or if you just let it run, then you know where it went. So it looks like a perfectly normal kind of a pullback. On the daily, it looked like a pin bar. On the hourly chart, it's not really a strong reversal. So I will see what it does up to London Open, up to here. If it stays in this box, it might create a setup one on the hourly to go long. Otherwise, on the 15-minute chart, it could create a short setup on the way down. So we'll look at it. So the next one is the pound yen. Now the pound yen, I'm looking at it from the seed template point of view right now, just to show what a beautiful seed signal it was here. The simple strategy that I shared the other day, anyone can trade that. It is one of the most beautiful trend following strategy. So this, if you take this, you have 100 stop loss and you're already 3R up, 300%. So if you chose this as your target point, it's probably hit or probably not hit. If you use the open and close of a candle, which I like, then it's hit your target and you're out. But at the same time, if you were long from here, convert it to a free trade, and long from here and convert it into a free trade, you probably don't need to get out, or you will probably take half the profits here and let the rest of it run, because who knows, it could come to those levels. So on the normal template, we see that we had a blue dot here, and then it went up and down. This is where the hourly and the 4-hourly chart would have created something. So let's see if it did. See this? Go down to the 4-hour chart. What do you see? You see a lovely setup 2 signal. So the setup 2 is the green dot. So the green dot is when you have a setup 1 going on, but the candle with the dot actually breaks the box high, so we color it green. So because the rule is that when you go through the flow chart of creating the setup, you have to wait for a new box high, which happened here, and the new box high must be close to your current price level. So it didn't go really high, and then it created it. So this was your entry point. Your stop loss could have been 60 or something, and then went crazy like that up. So that's a beautiful setup on this. What we do see is that it is in an uptrend. It could pull back, so the week ahead could still be either the pullback of this or the continuation of a trend. In either cases, if it maintains this volatility, we will get setups on the hourly, the 4-hourly, and the M15 charts. The pound Swizzy. Okay, so the pound against Swizzy, GBP CHF, has been going sideways. So the Swizzy has been going down and the pound has been going up. And you can see this with the cross pairs. It literally is buying and selling two pairs at the same time. So if the pound is going up, right, basically the pound is increasing its value against the dollar. Whereas, let's go to Swizzy. The Swizzy is going down, USD CHF. So what is the pound Swizzy going to do? So when you buy the GBP CHF, you are betting on that the pound USD is going up and the USD CHF at the same time is going up. So to understand that, if we now, because the pound USD has the USD on the right side of the equation here, if the USD CHF, if we plot the USD CHF as CHF USD, bringing the USD on the right side of the slash, then when GBP USD goes up and the CHF USD goes down, then GBP CHF will go up. So what's happening now, on the contrary, is that because the pound USD is going up and the Swizzy is going down, the GBP CHF is stuck in a range. So with the crosses, there's always this thing to look at. But it doesn't really matter if you are a pattern trader and you follow this one rule, which is with Forex. If you are long, let's say the pound yen and the pound Swizzy at the same time, basically what you've done is, let's say you've taken 1% risk on both the pairs. Actually, you've taken 2% risk on the pound. The only thing is that you are calibrating, or you are weighing it against two different sets of currencies. So in case of the pound dollar, you are weighing the value of pound against the dollar. But when you also trade the pound yen, what you're doing is that you are trading the pound USD, and at the same time you're trading the USD yen. So you're betting that the pound USD is going up and the USD yen is going down when you buy the pound yen. And then when you add another trade to it, the GBP CHF, then you're saying that I'm buying the pound USD and I am also buying, or I am betting, that the Swizzy will also increase in value against the pound, which is not happening because the USD CHF is going down, right? But if you buy the GBP CHF, what you're doing is that you're saying that the pound will increase its value against the Swizzy. But if the Swizzy is also going up like the pound, then what would happen to GBP CHF? The market will go sideways. Anyway, that was a little bit about the correlation of stuff. The crosses are a little bit tricky. So it's going sideways, and when there is a little bit of change between the two currencies, we'll see what happens next. So right now it's just sideways. We have a 345 in this still, but we will see. Now let's suppose the Swizzy was to take a halt, if it was to go sideways, but the pound continues to go up, then this will move up with it. Let's go to Kiwi. So the next one is Kiwi, and Kiwi has it's now losing momentum towards the uptrend. So it was sideways for these 2 months, then it broke out during June, and then it was like a mild uptrend during July, and now we have this strong bearish candle. Let's look at it on the 1 hour chart. So on the 1 hour chart, what we see is a very kind of a sideways range bound week. So we'd be looking at, I'll put a line here, we want the price to go below this or go above it, only then we'll trade it on the hourly chart. The dollar yen has been fantastic after this break here. So on the daily chart, we took this using a seed signal, and on the hourly chart, obviously we took this seed. Actually, I took not this one, I took this one, and obviously that was I shared that the other day in the video. This was $100 risk, and when we woke up, it hit 100 pips profit, so that was $1,000 profit on $100 risk. So a very, very powerful trade on this one. Then we had a setup one here. The box was a little bit high. I don't think I took it. No, I didn't. Wasn't paying attention to this one. It triggered quite late, but a pretty good setup one could have been taken, and it would have hit 2R pretty nicely. And then on Friday, a very strong response, and it's kind of undone all the work in one day. So you can see a very, very strong outside candle. Now it's come back to these levels. So let's see if it is going to bounce against these levels and then continue down, or is it going to go up? For now, on the M15 chart, during the Asian session or tomorrow, after the Frankfurt Open, there could be a famous setup going up on this. So watch out for this one. And if the volatility stays like this on this pair, then there's going to be some good trades available on the 5-minute and the 15-minute chart. Right, the dollar CAD. So the dollar CAD had a setup one on the daily chart, and daily charts takes a little bit long. So around here, from this trade, we took half the profits. Stop loss is the break even, and just like the dollar yen, this price moved really strongly up. This day went up, pulled back. So it is creating an opportunity for a setup one. If the price goes sideways inside this box, probably half the day or all of the Monday, and it goes sideways like so, then it could produce a setup one long on the hourly chart. But we will know it. We will also keep in mind that this is actually a downtrend on the daily chart, and we have an inside candle here. So if you go to the 4-hour chart, what we see that basically on the 4-hour chart, we could be looking at a setup one short going on, and this is probably better. But at the same time, we see that it, price moved quite impulsively, and we saw it on the dollar yen as well, that it's going up. So if the dollar is strengthening overall, then it will probably continue to go up. And we can see on the Swizzy chart that the beautiful signal that we received here, cherry, continued, or this red dot. If you are short from this or from this level, your stop loss should be above this now. We are already out because we took a trade here, then got break even, out, exit here, then we went in short again using this small candle, and we targeted this level, so we got out a little bit early, but we're out. Now we have a bullish candle. This would produce some kind of a famous setup on the M15. If you're into those, then look out for this. And if the dollar strength continues, then this is where it will go up. Right. Just wanted to show you the weekly chart of Bitcoin using the simple method, the seed method. So you can see that market went up above the moving average, then it goes sideways, and then you have the seed signal here. If you take this, your stop loss is way smaller than the move that we have seen. It's a 1:10 trade. Obviously, we actually took on this, entered right after inside the box using the dot candle. I was so convinced that this is a beautiful setup one. Didn't want to wait, but ideally, I mean, I could have taken a long just above the box, which would be not too far. So let's say if this is $500 stop loss, it has actually gone about 1,800 in your favor, and can continues. It can still go up because it hasn't shown any signs of weakness. It has hit target zone 1 over here, but it can go further up. Looking at the weekly chart, you can see here the beautiful seed and cherry signals. So if you trade the weekly, if you put this template on the weekly charts, all you have to do is look at the charts on Sunday and see if you have a hunt signal or a cherry signal. Take them. This was a cherry signal in 1 week, seed signal another week. You go long above there. Your stop loss was only $500. Like your pending order was let's say 9,400. Your stop loss was 87 or 8,800, something like this. Now price is at 11,400. So a pretty good trade. And we had some crazy moves on. So the Nasdaq 100 still going up, still trying to. So it has created a what they call a double top. It's gone there, came down, went up there, a PC pattern. So a fake out rejection of this level. More buyers came in. We will see what it does around those levels. Could probably crash through it and goes up. The German 30 had a very, very strong day on Thursday, and that produced some fantastic setups on the 1 minute chart. It has then continued that trend. It went sideways. It was kind of going up and down. Plenty of setups on the 1 minute chart. Not going to go through this in this video. That's the London report. If you want to look at the DAX M1 charts, they're all in the London report. And I think that it might continue to go down. But on the 1 minute chart, I don't really care what the daily chart is doing, what the hourly chart is doing. What I need from the hourly chart are these levels. So I usually mark them like this. And when the market opens, then I decide whichever way momentum goes on the 1 minute chart, I will trade it. So that is the Sunday analysis. I hope you learned some new things from it, and you are probably, or you get some clarity about the week and the month ahead, what kind of trades we can expect. We cannot predict too much, but we can look at the trends and try to assimilate, an idea that if the trend is up, then we will be more interested in looking for setups in that direction. If the trend is down, then we want to look at that. So in your strategy, in your trading, you should know what is your trading time frame. And if your trading time frame is, let's say, the hourly chart, then you want to take your trend from the daily or the 4-hourly chart. So if you are on the hourly chart and your 4-hour chart is going up, you only want to take longs on the hourly chart, and that's how it is. And if you're trading the M15 chart, then hourly or the 4-hourly chart is your trend. So that's it for today, and see you in the next video.